breathe purple and gold? Are you ready to hoist the colors? Now, time for the most in-depth look at the world of ECU athletics. Welcome in to Hoist the Colors with your host, Stephen Igo on 94.3 The Game. Watch the show live on Facebook and at 943thegame.com. Now, here's your host, Stephen Igo.
All right, welcome into this edition of Hoist the Colors on 94.3 The Game. It is a Friday, September 2nd edition of the show. We are about, at this time, 30 hours from kickoff between East Carolina and Gardner-Webb. It is already wet. It's probably going to be a wet one tomorrow as some inclement weather rolls in off the coast of the Carolinas, of course. Looks like maybe the heavy part of it will be gone by game time if the current track holds. We can talk about that on today's show, but also we'll get into ECU Gardner-Webb. It is a football Friday. We've got a very exciting show. I always like to say the heavy lifting is done in the early part of the week, and then we enjoy our Fridays around here. So back in the 94.3 The Game studios, we got Joey Football, because it's a Joey Football Friday. We got Philip Pilkington producing. And we also got a new man there in my old chair. I've already been kicked out because Scott Rogers has he's taking my seats. I'm back in the home studio, but no, it actually worked out pretty good. We were able to get everybody on the show today. So first off, Scooter, welcome to the IBX media team. You've been on Hoist the Colors before, but how does it feel to be a official member of the IBX team?
It feels great. Yeah, I mean, I got to thank Hank Hinton and obviously also Dylan McKay and Dan Miller for welcoming me in yesterday, and excited to be a part, doing everything with ECU baseball and also some JH Rose football with IBX. And so you feel like you're a part of the family with that, but now you're kind of officially a part of it with this. And so I'm very excited to finally be a part of them.
Yeah, it'll be fun to get you on the show every now and then. You'll be doing some producing work as well. You got to take tips from Philip, so good luck with that. He's a great teacher, I'm sure. But no, it'll be fun, man. I'm really looking forward to having you on, and even more. Of course, we had you on back last in the baseball season, and we'll have you on, pretty regularly going forward. Joey Football, how you feeling as we get ready for this East Carolina football game? We talked about it on Tuesday. I think your excitement level was about a 6 or 7. Where are you at now?
It kind of fell a little bit, I can't lie. The rain is not helping my excitement level, especially just the amount of run that we've already seen throughout the season. I was really hoping to air it out, maybe see some touchdowns, a couple slot fades. As I've once mentioned before, a couple tight end touchdowns. Who could have thought?
A couple tight end touchdowns would be nice.
That would be very nice. But my excitement level's kind of dwindled because I feel like it's going to be like a 2013 Navy game where you're just running the rock and all of a sudden you look up and it's in the fourth quarter. So I'm like a 5, honestly, with the hurricane coming in. But maybe it's Hurricane Donnie throwing touchdowns. Who knows?
Hurricane Donnie throwing touchdowns. We got to talk about Donnie. We basically had Hurricane Donnie at the press conference on Wednesday.
You can't make it up, I go.
It was something else. Philip, what's your excitement level as we close in on kickoff? This rain, it does put a damper on things, but at the end of the day, we get 6 ECU football home games this year. You still gotta make them count.
You do, and at least hopefully we're getting the rain out of the way while it's still decently warm outside. That's what you don't want to see is 40 and rain, and sit through plenty of those. But no, I'm kind of like Joe. It's like, man, this was the game to test out the quarterbacks, let them air out the ball. And, I love 3 yards in a cloud of dust football, but this is not the game that we need to do it. Joey Football and I are old heads. Sometimes we like to pound the rock down the middle, but this was the game where we needed to air it out, so it does kind of stink. But, I'm still excited. I'm still like a solid 6.
Solid 6. All right. Well, if ECU doesn't win, we're all going to be at a 1 trying to call in sick on Monday.
I think we're all out of a job if that happens, I go.
Yeah, probably so. Shut it down. East Carolina and Gardner-Webb, 6 o'clock kickoff again. Pre-game coverage. We'll start on 94.3 The Game at 3. It'll go till 5. And then, of course, you got the pre-game show with Jim Zoki leading up to the 6 o'clock kickoff. So we will see how it goes. Joe, you going to be on the pre-game show again this week?
I think so. They haven't fired me yet.
Okay.
So we'll find out by tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, you never know, man. We got to get through this hour and see if you can keep your job again.
We'll see.
And so, look, I don't know what ECU's plan is offensively. I always get, who's starting at quarterback. I've heard some mixed things here as we get closer to kickoff. When I was out there Wednesday, Alex Flynn was taking the number 1 reps with the offense. and I would expect him to start the game, although last week on Wednesday they anticipated Mason Garcia starting, and then we got word Thursday that Flynn was going to be the guy. So, Joe, do you kind of have a gut feel on how this offense might look Saturday, and does the rain impact the potential offensive game plan?
My gut feeling is Mason isn't the guy to go to anymore. I think it's Flynn's job until he loses it. I've said that before. Kind of made it known. It's my stance at this point that it's Flynn's job until he's proved it shouldn't be. I think the rain definitely causes some issues as far as the game plan goes. This is a offense that tries to spread it out, and we've heard Coach Kirkpatrick kind of talk about what he wants to do and how he wants to call game plans, and he hasn't loved how they've been getting stuffed in the run. So with the rain coming, it could also kind of limit what they want to do, because he talked about it in the presser and his whirlwind of Hurricane Donnie, that he wants 3 yards every first down because it makes it easier to call plays, but he hasn't been able to get that done. So we'll see. Maybe there's some kind of new combination of some sort that we're going to see. Maybe there's a new personnel group that might help and take some burden off, and maybe true 32 personnel again. Just run the football the days of old. As Philip mentioned, the 3 yards in a cloud of dust. We'll see.
Scott, you've been obviously following the team. You were in Boone, doing some work there, of course, and haven't gotten your take on the season to this point. So just the 0-3 start, a lot of Pirate Nation, of course, disappointed. Kind of, what's your take on this team early part of the year?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously been frustrating with the 0-3 start, and I think a lot of people didn't expect a ton of wins this year from ECU football. Talking about a lot of people, obviously anywhere from 5 to 8 wins, I think would have been acceptable this year, but you never want to start 0-3, especially in 2 games where you had you were playing good in the second half, especially against Marshall. I mean, you had that 13-10 lead. Of course, you were up 21-10 at halftime against Appalachian State. And you've talked about this too, where especially the App game, you score 2 touchdowns on defense and you lose by double digits. That's very hard to do, and it's a very frustrating thing too. But I mean, this is a good opportunity this weekend, and Gardner-Webb obviously is a really good football team, considering they were beating Appalachian State late in the third quarter in week 1, and actually got a chance to watch a little bit of that game after the Michigan game up in Ann Arbor. And from that moment, I said this is going to be an interesting game when we play Gardner-Webb. So I'm excited to watch it this weekend. But the rain is definitely going to be a factor this weekend. But I will say, in recent memory, we have played good in the rain. You go back to the James Summers game against Virginia Tech. Of course, the Conference USA championship game with Case Keenum against Houston. So, yeah, hey, you got to find some positives here. We do not play bad in the rain. So we'll see what happens.
If we can just get some of that personnel back, we'll be sitting in good shape.
Just
that day.
Not Houston of 2 years ago. That's all I ask.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, as long as we have no delays, knock on wood, I'll be good with that. All right, so interesting press conferences this week, guys, on a lot of fronts. We'll start with Donnie Kirkpatrick because I don't even know. It's always interesting with Donnie K. Let's preface that. But he went on, I set the over-under, I think, at like 12:30, and he crushed it. I mean, he went like 15, 16 minutes. And basically, he talked about how Mike Houston should be in the Hall of Fame and how great he's handling this week. He also talked, of course, about, like Joe referenced, the first down struggles. They have not been able to get any positive yardage on first down. So he made some good points. And then at the end, he kind of closed with a rant about how great it is to live in America, how Earth is the best planet in the solar system. So, and he made some good points. Like, he talked about coaches who are battling, cancer, or colleagues who are in much more serious situations than, hey, did you make the right play call on 1st and 10? So there was a lot of good points there. But I thought that was an all-time Donnie K presser, Joe, and you used to be in the offensive meetings with him. Now you're on the media side. Just what did you make of all that?
It reminded me of home. I got to be honest, Igo. It was like I was sitting back in the offensive meeting room on a Tuesday, and he's getting ready to go over like the explosive plays for this week. And he goes on some rant about his golf game and how he shot an 86 last week and his back hurts, or the time he fell down the stairs but he caught himself because he's an athlete. So it was an all-timer for sure. Hurricane Donnie was alive and well. I think my favorite part was when he prefaced the end of it, and he goes, now, don't get me wrong, we'd love to win more games, but football sucks right now. Life is great. And I don't know how you do it. I don't know if we need to pay somebody to do one of the plane banners over the stadium before kickoff on Saturday for it, or just print T-shirts. I mean, I want the student section to have body paint that just spells out football sucks, life is great. I think that's just the motto of the first start of this season. And I think Coach Kirkpatrick, once again, reminding us all that not everybody should get to have a press conference.
Hey, that's the highlight of my week, though, Joe. I'm not gonna
This
lie.
is true.
Yeah. I mean, you never know what he's going to say. So
No.
I enjoy it. All right, so the other side of the coin, you had the Gardner-Webb. I don't know if any of you watched it, but I wrote about it. Trey Lamb is their head coach. And he basically came out in the press conference and was like, look, we have a great opportunity to go upset East Carolina. Like, that, not even like saying, oh, ECU is a great team. Like every coach speak says. ECU is a great team. They got a great offense. It's going to be a tremendous challenge, that sort of stuff. He was just like, no, we got a great opportunity to go upset East Carolina. He was like, we're going to run some trick plays. He's like, we need to hit some trick plays to win. Like, I mean, it was kind of like he was just given the blueprint on how to win. I thought it was interesting kind of how he addressed it. But I don't know, Scooter, if you saw any of that or saw any of the comments, but what do you make of just the opposing coach just coming out being like, look, man, we have a chance to go win the game?
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch any of it, but I did see some of the quotes from his press conference. But I mean, they're obviously confident, and if you're an FCS team coming down into an FBS opponent's home and you know that team has not been playing well, you know that there's a lot of bitterness right now on the fan side, and they're very confident to come into Greenville and get a win. And it shows with what Coach Lamb said in his press conference, and if he's saying that, the players are all obviously confident as well about coming into Greenville and getting a win. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting to say that you're gonna run some trick plays and it was give out your game plan there. But hey, maybe he's balking a little bit, trying to keep ECU's guard up a little bit, and maybe he won't run any trick plays and stuff like that. So who knows? But it's definitely sounds like it's been an interesting week with press conferences for both ECU and Gardner-Webb.
Well, if you're going to start 0-3 and you're covering an FCS game, might as well have some interesting press conferences, because in the past there have been a lot of dull weeks like this. So I'm not going to complain about it. All right, guys, we're about to take a quick break, but we do have some breaking news. The ECU men's basketball schedule and the women's schedule dropped earlier today, the American Athletic Conference, and I've got it here in front of us. ECU will open conference play January 2nd at Florida Atlantic, the reigning Final Four team, new year in the American. So, hey, Mike Schwartz, here's your favor for putting together a good roster coming back. Travel to Boca Raton. This will be the only meeting because FAU does not come to Greenville. Their home opener in conference will be Tulsa on January 7th. Then they go to Temple, host SMU, host North Texas, and then it kind of goes from there. So you can go to ecupirates.com, check that out. But big challenge there, Scooter, right out of the gate, going to FAU on January 2nd.
Yeah, but it's a heck of an opportunity. We were just talking about with the FCS foe coming here, but yeah, I mean, that's a great opportunity for ECU to go down there and play Florida Atlantic, and it sucks that you only get them once this year. You don't get to have a team that played in the Final Four last year coming into Minges, but yeah, I mean, and it's not just Florida Atlantic. I mean, you have Charlotte, who's been good in basketball in the past here. You've got North Texas and UAB, who had really good years recently, and so yes, you lost Cincinnati and Houston and these programs in the American, but you're gaining a lot in terms of basketball this year. And honestly, it's going to be about the same for baseball. You're gaining some good baseball programs as well. So it's going to be an exciting 2 seasons coming up here soon for both basketball and baseball, I think.
No doubt. All right, let's get our first break in. On the other side, we will come back. We'll dive into our picks. We make them every Friday. We're absolutely terrible at them, but we're going to continue to do them because that's what we do. We're just like ECU right now. Just because we started slow doesn't mean we're going to give up. We're not going to start firing people yet, but we'll see how things transpire in the coming days, coming weeks. All right, we'll have our college picks on the other side. Then we'll do some NFL picks analysis as well, give our final thoughts on Gardner-Webb. We'll be right back. This is Hoist the Colors on a Friday.
A huge selection of new Toyotas is ready to go at Greenville Toyota. Rush in for the one you want before it's gone. Camrys, just $269 a month. RAV4s, ready to go for just $289 a month. Now at Greenville Toyota.
Other restaurants claim their food is fresh and fast, but are they friendly? At Moore's, you're treated like family the minute you walk into their doors. With locations in Winterville, New Bern, Swansboro, Morehead City, and Jacksonville. We've been practicing what we preach since 1945. At Moore's, our barbecue is slow cooked and smoked over real wood daily until it's so tender it's falling off the bone. Combined with our fresh chicken, cooked-to-order seafood, and homemade fixins, we're sure you'll agree. If it's not Moore's, it's less.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you farm to fork beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes, just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to fork beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
At GoEco, we don't just supply the office space. We create solutions for any environment. Our state-of-the-art commercial-grade video display is perfect for watching film with the team. From film study to the field, elevate your game with GoEco.
Storm season is approaching. North Carolina weather can damage your roof, and before long, a small leak can turn into a big problem. Your home is one of your biggest investments, so protect it with Wells Home Improvements.
We work with all insurance companies for a hassle-free roof installation experience. Call us today and get 10% off your roof installation when you mention this commercial.
252-227-8403 or visit us online at wellshomeimprovements.com. Wells Home Improvements. Local, honest, dependable.
New Toyotas are ready to go at Greenville Toyota. Shop a huge selection with new inventory arriving daily. Don't see what you want? We'll find it or order it for you. Plus, fresh trades are rolling in and ready to go for delivery today. Rush to Greenville Toyota.
What's happening?
Tell me what's happening. Every ECU fan's one stop for all things ECU athletics. This is Hoist the Colors with Stephen Igo on 94.3 The Game.
All right, welcome back on this Friday, September 22nd edition of the show. ECU getting ready for Gardner-Webb. It is rainy, but hey, they're still going to play football this weekend inside Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium, regardless of how many people do or do not show up. Unfortunately, we don't have a line for East Carolina and Gardner-Webb as of now. They usually drop that line either Friday night or Saturday morning for FCS games, so we may have a late entry off the air pick with that. Maybe we'll do it on our pregame show as we get near kickoff. We'll see. We'll update you there. Gardner-Webb was a 24-point underdog at App heading to the opener. They ended up covering that spread, I believe, or, the 45-24 loss. Yeah, they covered there. So we'll see what the line is for ECU Gardner-Webb. But it is time for our weekly picks, and we're not very good at these.
I think we're historically bad.
Yeah. Well, Joe, you were historically bad last week.
I had an IGO week.
You had an IGO caliber week.
I might need to self-impose a ban.
Hey, that's your call. I think
you can be like Jim Harbaugh.
On the yeah, let's don't get started there. We'll have to do a commemorative edition of the show next week in honor of Joe if we do that. But I'm big on the bounce back, Joe, and so I feel like you're going to bounce back this week. I got faith in you, man.
It's a revenge week.
Exactly, revenge week. I somehow had a winning week in college football, 3-2. I got LSU, UNC, and Appalachian. Unfortunately, we all got Appalachian right. They covered the 8.5 against ECU. Joe went 2-3 in college. Philip went 4-1. He had Colorado State covering against Colorado. He called that. His only loss was Tennessee at Florida. We all had Tennessee. We all looked like idiots there. NFL, I went 1-3-1. We all pushed on Saints-Panthers as the Saints won by 3. My lock of the week busted. I had the Broncos bouncing back against the Commanders. It looked great for a while, and then they choked it away. Almost won on a Hail Mary, but they ended up losing by 2, so I lost that. Joe went 0-4-1. At least you didn't go 0-5.
But my Anson Belt lock of the week hit.
Your Anson Belt lock of the week hit. What was your lock of the week?
Bucks by 2.5.
That's right. There you go. So his lock of the week hit, even though he didn't remember the opponent at the time.
It was the Bears. Who remembers the Bears? They're robotic anyway.
He nailed the lock of the week. My lock of the week busted. Philip, did your lock of the week hit? What was yours?
Mine was one of the college
It was LSU,
games.
wasn't it, Philip?
I think it was LSU. And
So
I think
yours
I
hit.
hit. Yeah, I hit.
All right, so and then you went 1-3-1 in NFL. So Philip by far is doing well thus far. So, all right, we'll have our lock of the week. You guys can throw it out at any point. I always forget to plan for it. So if you're feeling it like I did with the Steelers in Week 1 against the Niners, just go for it. Although it'll be completely wrong. And Scott, you're not on the official leaderboard, but if you do want to participate, you're more than welcome to. So are you in for picks?
I think I'm in.
Oh, yeah.
All right, there we go. All right, picking against the spread. We'll do college first. And the slate is absolutely loaded, and we're picking all of the best matchups. We're going 6 college games. Again, no ECU spread, so we can't put that game right now. First up, Florida State is at Clemson. Florida State is a 2-point favorite. Clemson, I think, is something crazy, like 50-2 in their last 52 overall at home. And this is just I don't think Clemson's good at all, but I just have a feeling they're going to win this game. I'm picking Clemson to cover. We'll go to Joseph next.
This is one of those where I want to do something really dumb and bet against Clemson at home, but I just don't think I can do that. I don't know if Norvell has the pull yet to kind of bring his guys into a hostile environment like that and upset Clemson, who at this point is 50-2 at home, as you mentioned. So I have to give it to Clemson, but I think it's close, but I have Clemson covering.
We'll go Scooter and then Philip.
Give me the chop. Give me the Knowles.
Oh.
I'm going Mike Norvell.
Knowles.
Memphis legend.
All right.
I doubted Florida State first week, or week 1. I ate those words, but it's so hard to pick against Clemson at home. I'm going to go Tigers.
How much, if anything, does the fact this is a noon kick and not a night game give Florida State a chance to any of you guys?
I don't know if it plays in as much, honestly.
Yeah.
I just don't think Clemson's very good.
Clemson's
So
not very good, but
Clemson does stink.
I know they're at home. I know it's a tough environment, but
if there's any time for Clemson to bounce back, it would be this weekend.
Yeah, they need that bounce back. Like, their season is on the line tomorrow.
Yeah, this is the must-win for Dabo.
This would be the second ACC loss already. I think in 2 tries. So I mean, this would be a bad loss. And they're in the same division as Florida State, I believe. So they'd pretty much be eliminated from the championship almost this early. So
I think they got rid of divisions, didn't they?
I saw that the other day. I don't know what it was for.
Yeah,
the
they got rid of
Was it?
divisions because now they've gone to that new
Officially top
scheduling.
2 now?
Yeah, there's no divisions.
But more than likely, if they lose this game, they're probably done in the race.
Yeah, I mean, Duke's going to be 12-0 anyway, so, you know.
All right.
Get out of here, man.
Okay.
All right. Colorado and Oregon. This is a ranked matchup. The spread is 21 points in favor of Oregon. I made the stupid decision to believe in Dion last week. All the hype, all the sunglasses, the hats. Dion, what are you doing, man? You let me down. I finally believe in you. I'm going to Oregon by I'm a lock of the week. Oregon covers the spread. They win by 30+. Lock it in. Anson belt and buckle. Oregon rolls. Joe.
I'm prime. Give me Colorado. I think 21's too much. They proved that last week just with how close Colorado State was. I think they play up to competition or down to competition as far as how young the program is in the Deion Sanders era. So give me Colorado because 21, 3 touchdowns is ridiculous. I don't know if Dan Lanning has an answer for Shedeur Sanders either. So give me Colorado.
Scooter.
I agree with pretty much everything Joe just said. I am picking Colorado. I think 3 touchdowns is ridiculous on that spread. And as he said, Colorado's played up and down to their competition this year. So I'm going with the Buffaloes. Now give me my theme music.
Go ahead, Philip.
Vegas made it personal.
Is it personal?
Okay. Here's my Anson Belt Buckle lock of the week. The over 70.5 is hitting in this game. It is a shootout, right. And Oregon by a touchdown or 10 points, something like that. So I'm going to take Colorado against the spread, but Oregon outright.
Oregon is going to roll these fools, and then USC is going to roll these fools, and then Deion is going to come crashing down to earth, and everybody's going to hate it except for me.
Dude, they do have a really tough schedule the rest of the way. Like, you mentioned the USC thing. Like, they have still 6 games against ranked opponents.
Yeah.
Hey, lock it in. Over's hitting, Oregon's rolling. We'll see what happens, though.
Maybe Igo is the Oregon Duck. Maybe he's the Oregon Duck mascot secretly.
He's Puddles?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys know I'm a Seattle Mariners fan. I'm a big Pacific Northwest guy.
Maybe
I'm a closet Oregon fan.
Yeah, but you just throw me around in so many different areas because you have the Northwest run, and then you're a Broncos fan.
That's pretty much Northwest. Hey, the Nuggets are in the Northwestern Division in the NBA.
This is true.
Just saying.
But you hate Colorado right now. How do you?
He hates that he lost his pick last week. He's just mad that they didn't cover.
That is 100% true. I have nothing against Deion. I'm overreacting for rating purposes. I'm trying to get on Prom's billboard. I'm trying to make sure he sees what I'm saying.
Trying to blow up that way.
His, hate list. Exactly. Trying to pull the Stephen A. Smith factor. All right, Ole Miss at Bama. I'm going to be honest, guys. I'm pretty shocked at this line. Bama is a 6.5-point favorite. I know they're playing at home, but they have looked bad. I'm kind of tempted to take Bama here because it just feels like they're not going to lose twice at home. But I'm going to Ole Miss. I just think Ole Miss is better. And as crazy as that is to say, I'm going the Rebels on the road. Lane Kiffin gets the W, or at least covers the 6.5. So I'm going to Ole Miss on the road. Joe.
I'm so glad you brought this up, Igo, because the man that wasn't built for Greenville is built to win in Tuscaloosa. Give me Lane Kiffin. Give me the points. Give me my Anson Belton Buckle lock of the week. It's a double whammy. Ole Miss points and the over hits.
Wow.
Lock it in.
Confident.
Lock it in.
In typical Joey football fashion, he's got to parlay it here. He can't just go with one.
I'm a degenerate.
That's fair.
It is very tough to pick against Alabama at home, but as you said, they have not looked good. They were losing to South Florida for a good portion of that game, and that automatically makes me pick the Rebels.
Phil, take us home.
In order to win a football game, you have to score points. And right now, South Central's defense, who let up 46 to Rose last night, could stop Bama's offense. They are terrible. Give me the Rebels.
I wouldn't necessarily say that.
Great. We just stamped this, so Nick Saban's going to put all of us up in the locker room today. And we're responsible, single-handedly.
We're the rat poison.
We're the rat poison.
We're all 4 on Ole Miss, and you're going Anson Belt and Buckle right here, Joe?
Yep, Anson Belt and Buckle lock of the week.
Listen, we're all 4 on Ole Miss, so anyone who may be making a trip to Atlantic City tonight, you should probably bet on Bama.
Yeah, this is now officially consensus to gamble on Bama.
By the way, lock of the week presented by Anson Belt and Buckle. Are you game day ready? Visit AnsonBelt.com/ECU. Check out their great collection of holeless belts, including ECU officially licensed buckles. Anson Belt and Buckle, the official belt of ECU Athletics. Also rep by Mason Garcia and Tegan Wilk. By the way, we got John White. He says the Buffs will end the year 5-7 on Facebook. Couldn't agree more, John. The real question I have is, will they even get to 5 wins? We'll see. All right. Y'all know
they still play Arizona, man.
They play Arizona State. They play Oregon
they're
State.
In the North. Oregon State's ranked, dude.
Oregon State's legit.
For now, we'll get to that.
Okay.
Hey, they're a non-Power 5 team. So, they're weak.
Yeah, that's true. They got Arizona. They beat Arizona. Stanford lost to Sacramento State last week. They're going to beat Stanford. by 75.
Maybe.
Who's the head coach of Stanford now? Isn't it the guy from Sacramento State?
I don't know.
I don't even know, honestly. All right, let's get back to the picks, or else we're not going to finish the show. UCLA is at Utah. Speaking of West Coast, we got a couple West Coast games to pick. This is a top 25 matchup. Both teams 3-0. Utah is a 6-point favorite at home. Utah is just the most consistent team, I feel like, every year. Like, they are just a really good football team, and I think they're better than UCLA, especially at home. I don't care who's playing quarterback. I'm going Utes by a touchdown. Joe.
Well, now because I took the Utes. Give me UCLA and Chip Kelly in that offense. I think the power is there. I think we saw Utah struggle against Florida, and Florida's kind of gone both ways and been a little wishy-washy. So I think UCLA's offense is a much better test than what Florida showed in that first week with Graham Mertz. So give me UCLA.
I should add, by the way, as we get to Scooter's pick, Cam Rising, there's reports that he will make his season debut, the Utah quarterback. The line actually opened at 4.5 and has since moved to 6, indicating Rising might play. I don't know if that affects your pick, Joe, but
go Bruins.
I am going to go with the Utes. We'll stick with Igo's pick there and go with Utah.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
Let's see if it pays off.
I did see Brett McMurphy's tweet yesterday about Rising playing, and that does kind of affect my pick. I will say UCLA's offense has surprised me this year with the departure of DTR. I thought they were going to take a step back. Loved him in the preseason with the Browns, by the way. Yeah, I don't know, man. Cam Rising's going to bring the energy. Those guys just love to play for him.
They do.
He's a solid quarterback. He's not phenomenal, but he finds ways to win, man. He's like a Garoppolo where he just finds ways to win. And, give me Utes by a touchdown.
Is that too recent of a wound for you here, Igo, after week 1? Are you okay with the Garoppolo comparison?
I mean, it's a fair comparison, although I hate the NFL right now, as we'll get into. The season's already over for the Broncos. And how about Bryce Young, already hurt? That's great for Panther fans. Sorry, Philip.
Welcome to the pain,
all right,
Philip.
Anyways, we'll save that discussion. Oregon State at Washington State, the Pac-2, I should say, the two schools that are going to be left behind, are two of the better teams in the country right now. They're both ranked. Washington State at home, I feel like in big games, historically has played pretty well, at least recently. So I'm going to Washington State here. I think this is a very even matchup. You know, they usually say 3 points to the home team. It's a 3-point line. Washington State is favored by 3. So I'm going to Washington State to cover. I think this will be a tight game, but the Cougars pull it out at home. Joe.
Against my better judgment, I'm going to agree with Igo here. I take Washington State at home. I think that anytime you can get a ranked opponent at home in a late game like that, especially in the Pac-2, as we've mentioned, you can kind of draw from the energy of the crowd and play above what you're going to do. And Washington State's offense surprised me a little bit this year. I think Oregon State's ranked too early. I think time will tell, obviously, if I'm incorrect or not, but I do like Washington State in my Mike Leach Memorial game.
Scooter.
I don't know much about either of these teams.
That's fair. They're on the West Coast.
You're not watching a lot of Pacific Coast football?
No, I'm sleeping by then. But I'm going to pick Washington State just because of Gardner Minshew.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm just going to go with the home team.
Hey.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, I'm just going to go with the home team because I don't know much about either one of these teams.
Another consensus.
Yeah.
So to whoever's listening with this giant parlay against us, you have Bama so far and Oregon State. We're literally giving you the answers.
That, and I don't like beavers either. I think beavers are weird animals.
That's also fair.
But Cougars are just like the most basic thing ever, too. Like Cougars, Lions, like let's come up with something better.
Oh, no. They're named after a Wildcat? I thought the Cougar was named after something else.
Zach Wilson is very excited.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
That is true.
Oh, dang it. I wish I'm a terrible producer, guys. I should have had Bill Walton. Cougars roar.
Bill Walton.
The good news is, guys, not to transition away from Cougars and older women, but these games are pretty good times for West Coast football. Colorado, Oregon's a 3:30 kick. UCLA, Utah is a 3:30 kick, and then this game, Oregon State,
7,
Washington
isn't it?
State is a 7 o'clock kick. Yeah, so we should be able to see all these games. You know, in terms of we're going to be watching East Carolina clearly, but at least we'll have an idea of what's happening. We'll be able to watch them, you know, before midnight. So, yeah, anyways, back to the picks. Last pick of the day. Ohio State is at Notre Dame. This feels like this just feels like a tremendous game, and I don't know. It almost seems like it should be like a college football playoff game. I can't remember these two teams playing in the regular season in my lifetime, so it should be a fun one to close out the Saturday nightcap. Ohio State is a 3-point favorite on the road. I got to be honest, I'm not a big Ryan Day believer. I'm not super sold on the Notre Dame coach either, but I am going Notre Dame at home. This kind of reminds me of when they hosted Clemson a few years back when they were very good and they won the football game. I think it'll be an exciting game, and with Hartman there, I just think Notre Dame's at a different level, so I'm going to Fighting Irish. Joe?
Well, the younger me would say, yeah, I completely believe in Notre Dame in this big game against a ranked opponent. But the adult me that's grown and understands that that's a lie knows that Notre Dame doesn't know how to win against big teams like that, especially when they're in the big Power 5, the big bad Power 5, as I've mentioned before. So give me Ohio State. Obviously, the spread kind of puts it as a pick-em, but I do think that Ryan Day can handle his own. I think he might know a little more than what people are kind of thinking he knows as far as offensively and how it's looked over the last few years. Maybe Brian Hartline gets to call a couple more plays. You know, Jets receiver legend, also Miami Dolphins receiver legend. So give me the Buckeyes. Hand me my Buckeye head, Lee Corso.
I would just like to add, I'm an idiot. Parker, just listening to the show, texted me, said that Ohio State and Notre Dame played last year. And
yeah, I was waiting for that one.
That shows you how nondescript that game was. I guess that was to open the season, or at least very early last year. 21-10, Ohio State won. And Parker, in my mind, that game didn't happen. Notre Dame last year was a fraud. This year,
this
they're
is
actually
true.
Good. They lost to Marshall like the next week, so I'm going with Notre Dame.
I've heard that one before.
I was getting ready to ask, was that before or after that Marshall beat them when they played Ohio State?
I think it was the game before. Yeah,
I think so.
A week or two later. But I'm an idiot. Go ahead, Scooter.
I think, as you said, Sam Hartman is the real deal. He's added so much to Notre Dame this year. I have some friends who are big Ohio State fans, and I also have some friends who hate Ohio State. Well, I'm going to piss off the Ohio State fans. Give me the Irish. And I never picked Notre Dame.
By the way,
welcome to the dark side, Scooter.
That's right.
Just to confirm, the Ohio State game, was the first week, and then Notre Dame lost to Marshall the next week. But, Notre Dame can't win big games. We all know it. I got the Buckeyes.
Y'all don't remember Notre Dame beating Clemson?
You don't remember the national title game between Notre Dame and Alabama? Or the college football playoff semifinal game between Notre Dame and Alabama? Or Notre Dame versus LSU in the Sugar Bowl?
But they didn't have Sam Hartman.
What big game has Ohio State won under Ryan Day recently?
Yeah, they can't beat Michigan. Still, hey,
this
man,
is true.
You brought up the Notre Dame Clemson game.
They almost beat Georgia last year.
I will say even a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and again. That was that Notre Dame against Clemson.
That's true.
Yeah, you're right. Day is not previous regimes of Ohio State, but they're winning this game and covering 3 points.
Yeah, we'll
3
see
points
what happens.
especially.
I think it'll be an awesome week of college football, though, guys. All right, we got to get a break in before I make any more stupid statements that aren't true. And we will make some NFL picks on the other side. We'll transition there. We'll also have closing thoughts on ECU to wrap up the show against Gardner-Webb. You're listening to Hoist the Colors on a Friday edition of the show.
Air Service is back at Pitt Greenville Airport, offering safe, clean facilities and flights from American Airlines. That means the short commute, quicker lines, and better prices that get you where you're going fast and easy. See it for yourself. There's great things inside at Pitt Greenville Airport. Air Service is back at Pitt Greenville Airport, offering safe, clean facilities and flights from American Airlines. That means the short commute, quicker lines, and better prices that get you where you're going fast and easy. See it for yourself. There's great things inside at Pitt Greenville Airport.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville. Do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
Living easy is the sound of children laughing as you make memories with neighbors and friends. It's the sound of nothing at all. It's the smell of the salt air. Hear the waters against the marsh grass. See the beauty of our coast. Bow Coast, located in Beaufort, North Carolina. Southern Living's best small town.
Just because voice-over IP telephones are the latest technology in the telephone world doesn't mean they're the right choice for you and your business. Whether your internet provider is unable to support a voice-over IP phone system, or you don't have a need for high-tech features and simply want to stick with a traditional system, Spain Telecom is here to help. Spain Telecom offers a variety of services to keep your business connected and competitive. We're confident we can find the right phone system for you and your business, a system that addresses all your communication needs. Looking for a new phone system that won't break the bank? In addition to new systems, Spain Telecom also offers gently used systems that are in great shape and can save you money. No matter your needs, Spain Telecom has a solution for you. Whether it's voice over IP, on-premise systems, new or used, give us a call at 252-353-2006 and let Spain Telecom help you with your communications needs.
Pizza? Ooh.
Yes. All pineapple.
No.
What's wrong with pineapple on pizza?
I only eat pizza with pizza things.
That makes sense. Pineapple is a pizza thing.
Also makes sense. Is it though?
This tastes great.
That we agree on.
Let's agree to agree. Pepsi Zero Sugar tastes great.
Can't you just pick off the pineapple?
Back to Hoist the Colors with Stephen Igo.
Drink up for me, hearties, yo ho.
On 94.3 The Game.
All right, welcome back into the show. Friday, September 22nd. We just made our college picks, and now we got to transition to NFL quickly because we still got to get another break in. So we'll go rapid fire here. We got Joe Sampson, Scooter Rogers, and also Philip Pilkington. Let's start with Broncos at Dolphins. My Denver Broncos are 0-2. We're going to pick these games every week, even though our teams stink. Panthers, Jets, and Broncos.
Hey, we're 1-1.
I'm going to go, but it's going to get worse. I got a question for you coming up, by the way.
Oh, boy.
Miami and Denver. Denver 0-2 with 2 home losses. Now they go across the country to Miami. The spread's 6.5 in favor of Miami. I just don't see how Denver slows down Miami. Their defenses look atrocious. I think Denver's offense is much better, but it doesn't matter if you can't stop the pass, which Tua can do. So I'm going Dolphins at home here, covering the 6.5. Joe?
I have the same thing. I think Tyreek Hill runs for 1,000 yards alone in the game. I don't think Denver's secondary can kind of contain that, and we saw what Mike McDaniels was able to do against the Patriots defense last week with some of the crazy looks and still got everybody open.
I need a big week from Tua this weekend for my fantasy team. So go Dolphins. And that'll also make Pirate Video member Kyle Gaskins very happy with that pick as well.
Yeah, I'm going to make it a clean sweep. Dolphins.
Take Denver. All right, Chargers at Vikings. And the reason this is on the list, guys, you got 2 potential playoff teams here at 0-2, and this is a huge game. You start 0-3, your odds are already low of bouncing back, but you start 0-3, you're in trouble. I'm going a home team here. I mean, Minnesota, both teams have their issues, but I feel like Minnesota at home is a pick 'em. I'm taking the Vikings. Joe?
All right, you made that easy. I'm going to take the Chargers because Igo took the Vikings. One of the 2 quarterbacks is going to rise above the other. I think the Chargers defense has looked lethargic at times, so that could give Kirk O'Chains the opportunity to kind of spread the ball out with Justin Jefferson, but I'd rather take Justin Herbert, so give me the Chargers.
Scooter?
I've always been a big Kirk Cousins fan. You like that? Give me the Vikings.
I got to say, next week, Joe needs to pick before I go, so he just quits getting these cop-out picks. I'm picking against whoever Igo's picking.
Igo keeps putting me second. I can't control that. If you want.
I was talking to Igo. I wasn't talking to you right then. I just don't trust Brandon Staley. Ever since he's been there, they've just not done what they need to do, so I'm going Vikings.
By the way, a minute ago, Don Sampson commented, any relation to Joe Sampson?
That's my
perhaps?
dad. I'm scared.
Okay. He says, I disagree with Joey football. Saban has never lost 2 home games.
All right, well, that's
that was a while ago.
My father's an Alabama homer. That's what that is.
Dang.
We can.
Well, the good news is, Don, every single one of us picked against Bama, so they're going to win.
Is Joey football's dad Pee Wee that calls into Nick Saban's radio show?
No.
Okay.
I told him about Pee Wee, and he about fell out of his chair laughing because he was like, I can't believe the same guy keeps calling. I was like, Saban called him out this time. So, no, my dad does not do that.
All right, the Patriots, Joe, if the Jets are such a good team, how are the Patriots favored by 2.5 in New York? I mean, what is going on here?
Doubt. I
So
always want to be the underdog. I'm glad they're picking against us. It's going to make victory so much more sweeter because last year in Foxborough, when the Jets had the Patriots on the ropes, if it wasn't for the Houston legend who took the ball back on the punt return, the Jets win in Foxborough with Zach Wilson at quarterback. This year, the tide changes. Dalvin Cook and Breece Hall run all over the Vikings. I'm just kidding. It's the Patriots. I wanted to see who was listening. My point is made. To the people who don't know, Breece Hall runs all over Bill Belichick. Give me the Jets. I'll go first this time. Go ahead, Philip. I'll go first.
All righty.
You forget somebody there, Joey football?
Igo hasn't even gone yet. We're just going
Igo hasn't gone yet.
Yeah,
okay.
we're just going all out.
I'll go first.
Oh, okay. I got you.
When he said Philip, he
wants to change the whole order.
Yeah, I mean, everybody. We're changing it up here.
Scooter can go second, too, if he wants.
No.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the Patriots on this one.
All right.
You guys got to prove to me. I'm not saying you can't win without Zach Wilson. But you're like Virginia in basketball. When you prove me you can win the tournament, I'll pick you to win the tournament. When you prove me you can win games with Zach Wilson, I'll pick you.
Yeah, when we lose to UMBC, everybody loses their mind. Understood.
Yep.
We'll go Scooter next, and then I'll round it out.
Well, after that speech from Joey football, he made me want to pound on the table over here and got me fired up about the Jets, which is the first time that I've ever been fired up about the Jets in my lifetime. Give me the Jets.
Let's go, man.
Jets. No, I'm taking the Patriots. Give me the Pats on the road. I'm going. I'm not a Zach Wilson believer. I had him in fantasy last year, and he lost me the league.
That's your own fault.
In last place. It is my own fault for trusting a Jets quarterback. Bills at Commanders. Buffalo is a 6-point favorite against the 2-0 Commanders. I'm riding with Washington. I love what I saw out of Sam Howell last week. I'm going Commanders covering. I don't know if they'll win, but they're covering the 6. We're going to skip Joe. We'll go to Scooter, Philip, and then Joe will round it out.
I'm with you. I liked what the Commanders had last week, and the Bills certainly, with Josh Allen, have not looked a lot like their normal selves this year, I think, and so I'm going to go with the upset. Give me the Commanders.
I'm torn on this one because I feel like the Commanders always win a game they have no business winning at home, kind of early to middle of the season. So this very well could be the week. But if the Bills win, they will win by more than 6. And in my pick'em pool, I picked the Bills to win, so I've got to pick them to cover. I've got the Bills.
The opposite of a cop-out. I follow the consensus of who's on the screen right now, Philip. Give me the Commanders. I agree. I think Josh Allen's still concussed. I got to be honest. Some of his decision-making has looked terrible in the last 2 weeks. We saw what he did against my New York Jets. Looked terrible. We saw what he did last week against the Raiders. He didn't look great. If Gabe Davis doesn't fall 6 yards in for that touchdown, it's a completely different ballgame also. So give me the Commanders. I believe in the Korean quarterback, Sam Howell.
The Panthers are going to the Seahawks. The Seahawks are a 5.5-point favorite. On the cheat sheet, I see Philip has already made his pick. Philip, I can't believe you're going this direction, but please explain yourself.
So I'm picking the Panthers, and the reason being with Andy, to cover 5.5.
The Red Rifle?
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
because
5.5
because of Dalton, he's played in those big environments. He's played in Pittsburgh where it's loud once a year throughout his career. I think he finds a way to make this in either 3-point loss or a 4-point loss. If this spread was 2.5, I'd be all over the Seahawks. I do think the Seahawks win the game, but I'm seeing it be a 1-score game, so that's why I'm going Panthers to cover.
Scooter.
Panthers suck. Give me the Seahawks.
Yeah.
The end.
All right. Well, Scooter's analysis was far better than mine. Give me the Seahawks. I like what they did against the Lions last week, who we saw as a very good defensive team, and limited the Chiefs, who are going to be one of the more high-powered offenses toward the end of the year. Obviously, they haven't found their footing yet because they were out Kelsey. But I do think that less than a touchdown is still too few, so give me the Seahawks.
5.5 is a lot more points than it sounds like, especially in the NFL. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm taking the Panthers as well. I'm taking the Panthers to cover.
Wow.
I think Andy Dalton makes enough plays. I think the Panthers defense keeps it close enough, and they lose like 24-20 or something like that to cover the spread. So give me the Panthers. All right, we got to get our final break in. We'll come back. We'll have closing thoughts, wrap up the show, and give maybe some predictions on ECU Gardner-Webb. You're listening to Hoist the Colors on a Friday.
Fifth Street Hardware is the home of the $9 lunch special Tuesday through Fridays. $9 specials every day, including the famous Burger Day on Tuesdays, Flatbread Pizza Wednesday, the famous Fifth Street Hardware Reuben on Thursday, and fried fish or shrimp on Friday. Plus trivia on Wednesday nights and live music every Thursday nights. And the Prime Rib Brunch Buffet has returned on Sundays. You heard that right. The Brunch Buffet with all the great items, including prime rib. Fifth Street Hardware in downtown Greenville.
Tax credits are back. Get a 30% tax credit, up to $2,000 off your new Mitsubishi electric heat pump install. Let Comfort Master help you take advantage of the tax credits with a qualifying Mitsubishi electric ducted heat pump or non-ducted Mitsubishi electric mini splits. Mitsubishi electric mini splits are ideal for bonus rooms, garages, or sunrooms. If you need a new HVAC unit, call Comfort Master today.
Call Comfort Master. Call Comfort Master.
You can't name a lot of things that I didn't do. It's like a paper, like a book, not a Kindle. You outdated, I'm the one they getting into, and I ain't break a sweat. Let's get it, 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 let's get it. Child, please, I don't need a child, please.
Are you game day ready? Anson Belt, the official belt of ECU Athletics.
Are you ready for a digital hair color revolution? The Color Master Factory by Chi and LG. A masterpiece of innovation, unlimited color formulations, limitless possibilities, long-lasting color. Chi.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
Here there be pirates. Back to Hoist the Colors with Stephen Igo. How good is this? On 94.3 The Game.
All right, welcome back into a Friday edition of the show. Been a fun one as always. We just made our picks. We got about a couple minutes left. We don't have a line yet for ECU Gardner-Webb. We do have a matchup predictor provided by the ESPN Football Power Index. East Carolina, 96% chance to win the game according to ESPN Analytics. Let's go around the horn real quick. We got Scooter Rogers, Joe Sampson, Philip Pilkington. First off, I'm going to set my own over-under. Does ECU score more than 23.5 points by the offense, and do the Pirates win the game? We'll start with Joe. Over-under offensive points and who wins?
I'm going to be optimistic. Give me the over on offensive points. I think ECU wins, but I do think whatever the line is, Gardner-Webb covers. I think it's a much closer battle than people are anticipating. Obviously, ESPN is going to look at FCS versus FBS and immediately give an edge, but Gardner-Webb is a good football team. They gave a lot of trouble to App State, and that's not coaches speak where we say everyone's a good football team. They have some pieces, so I think it's close, but I do give ECU the win, but late.
Scooter.
I'm going to say the Pirates do hit the over on that number, and the Pirates get win number 1 on the year this Saturday.
Philip.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with both those guys. I think we're up around 30 points. And the only thing that worries me is in saying that it's going to be closer. I do agree it's going to be closer than people think, Joe, but they did lose to Tennessee State last week. Gardner-Webb did. Not even East Tennessee State yet. If it was East Tennessee State, I'd say, hey, they're good against Pirates because those are the Buccaneers. But, they lost to Tennessee State.
Revenge game. That's what makes it. I think it'll be close as well. I'm going East Carolina by 10 to 14 points. I haven't made my prediction yet, but I think they do get over. I think they score in the high 20s, low 30s. Pirates win, get their first win of the year. Well, Scooter, Joe, appreciate y'all coming on. It's good to have you aboard, Scooter. And Philip, thanks for everything. And we'll see you guys next week. We'll have Scott on regularly going forward. We'll have Joe on, as always, multiple times next week as well. All right, we got to get out of here. We'll talk to you tomorrow on the pregame show at 3 o'clock on 94.3 The Game, and then see you next week on Hoist the Colors. This has been our Friday edition of the show. We'll see you next time.
This has been Hoist the Colors with your host, Stephen Igo. Tune in weekdays at noon for all things ECU sports. Get a recap of the show at 943thegame.com, on Twitter, Facebook, or anywhere you get your podcasts. We're back Monday with more of Hoist the Colors on 94.3 The Game.
R&D Brewing is proud to partner with the ECU Pirates, and now you can enjoy Pirates Brew, the official craft beer of ECU Athletics. Pirates Brew is a carefully curated light beer that embodies the spirit of ECU, a refreshing and easy drinking light beer. Pirates Brew by R&D Brewing is available now at grocery stores, local retailers, and at ECU athletic events.
Head over to your favorite store and enjoy a nice Pirates Brew today, or else you'll walk the plank. Hand me another Pirates Brew.
Fifth Street Hardware is the home of the $9 lunch special Tuesday through Fridays. $9 specials every day, including the famous Burger Day on Tuesdays, Flatbread Pizza Wednesday, the famous Fifth Street Hardware Reuben on Thursday, and fried fish or shrimp on Friday. Plus trivia on Wednesday nights and live music every Thursday nights. And the Prime Rib Brunch Buffet has returned on Sundays. You heard that right. The Brunch Buffet with all the great items, including prime rib. Fifth Street Hardware in downtown Greenville.
Storm season is approaching. North Carolina weather can damage your roof, and before long, a small leak can turn into a big problem. Your home is one of your biggest investments, so protect it with Wells Home Improvements.
We work with all insurance companies for a hassle-free roof installation experience. Call us today and get 10% off your roof installation when you mention this commercial.
252-227-8403 or visit us online at wellshomeimprovements.com. Wells Home Improvements. Local, honest, dependable.
Living easy is the sound of children laughing as you make memories with neighbors and friends. It's the sound of nothing at all. It's the smell of the salt air. Hear the waters against the marsh grass. See the beauty of our coast. Bow Coast, located in Beaufort, North Carolina. Southern Living's best small town.
Just because voice over IP telephones are the latest technology in the telephone world doesn't mean they're the right choice for you and your business. Whether your internet provider is unable to support a voice over IP phone system, or you don't have a need for high-tech features and simply want to stick with a traditional system, Spain Telecom is here to help. Spain Telecom offers a variety of services to keep your business connected and competitive. We're confident we can find the right phone system for you and your business, a system that addresses all your communication needs. Looking for a new phone system that won't break the bank? In addition to new systems, Spain Telecom also offers gently used systems that are in great shape and can save you money. No matter your needs, Spain Telecom has a solution for you. Whether it's voice over IP, on-premise systems, new or used, give us a call at 252-353-2006 and let Spain Telecom help you with your communications needs.